Alrighty, folks. Sorry about the few minutes of delay here. Runners are pretty much set up. We're just going to get them the seed. And in the meantime, we're getting ready for the Aldriel versus Chris Naga match. Commentators are going to be SSB Stu and S Diesel. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Hey everybody, I'm SSB Stu. I've done commentary for a few other games, namely Smash, but today I hope to have really good matches. I think both these players are going to have a lot of fun today.
And hello, I am S Diesel. I commentated our first match from last night, and I'm hoping for today to be another good.
Yeah, the runners. We have an interesting set of runners for this match as well. Another high skill level player going against another wild card runner. So it'll be interesting to see how both players play throughout the seed. So we're gonna go ahead and get that seed set up for you guys. So enjoy the music for a few more moments here while we get the runners ready to go, and I hope you guys enjoy the matches coming up later tonight as well. We have another match with SSB Stu, who's also commentating right now, versus Satellite. So look forward to that one. That'll be around 11 p.m. Eastern. Commentators for that, I believe, are going to be Talik and Epic Kai, should he actually be awake around that time, like, maybe. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's a very exciting tournament. You know, it's just exciting that we have this game to begin with, the randomizer for Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Castlevania Symphony of the Night just has so many cool weapons and like movement options in it that you don't often see just because there's better options. But of course, in the randomizer, you don't always have those better options.
Yeah, Randomizer always likes to bring out the niche things you don't get to see in like a speed run or casual run. So it's always an interesting time each seed you.
Exactly, especially because the different like movement options are gated behind relics, and like so if you just don't get the right relic early, then you might just never find yourself moving with that relic. You know, you might never get gravity boots.
Any other things you guys are looking forward to seeing potentially in the upcoming match?
I'm always interested to see what routing people take, especially when you have somebody who's like kind of new to running Symphony of the Night. You know, somebody who has done a lot of casual playthroughs will have a different mindset than somebody who's done a lot of speed runs. Somebody who's done a lot of speed runs might try to stick to one route in particular, but somebody who's done a lot of casual runs, they might like think outside the box a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think the routing that people take are usually the most interesting aspects. You get to see things you can pick up and use in your own play, because you don't usually see that a lot. So yeah, I think that's usually what ends up being a more interesting aspect of not only Randomizer, but watching these two race each other to see if they play a little bit differently because they are in a race, or if they feel ahead or behind. It always plays into the race itself. So.
Yeah, a couple more things that I always watch out for is when an enemy drops an item. Because if an enemy drops an item, it might drop it for one player, not the other, as opposed to an item spot where, you know, they both check the item spot, they're both going to get the same item. So an enemy dropping an item can skew the race, and then also it's exciting when one player checks an item spot that is like somewhat out of the way. It's like it's a time investment, but sometimes it pays off, you know?
Yep, very true.
And of course, I always want to see duplicator. especially if there's some wacky use item and nobody can find like a Buffalo Star or a Mana Prism. If they end up like both throwing javelins or some BS, that sounds
Yeah.
like fun.
It's always fun to see how creative you can get with the duplicator, that's for sure.
Yeah. Both the runners are setting up now. It looks like we're getting ready to start. They have the seed. They're both deleting their old files, so we'll be into it very shortly.
Yep. Just making sure everything's good on my end. We're good to go. So, yeah. Just gonna get these guys readied up. Okay, so I'm gonna send it over to the match scene for you guys. Hope you guys have been enjoying the introduction, and we'll get this race on the way.
I also like to see how good they are at the Richter section. It's just like its own little section that the execution in it is very different from the Alucard rest of the run.
Yeah.
So just like the amount of like different types of experience becomes clear just from watching the Richter section.
Very true.
All right, so have these set up on the scene here. So everybody has been enjoying their morning, afternoon, or night, wherever they are, and they're ready for some good rando. So our seed has a interesting name. It's We Came for the Wall Turkey. Just something off the stomp. You guys want to let people know what the starting gear is? You guys have an idea of what that is?
Oh, I didn't look.
Okay, well, the starting gear is short shorts, skull shield, leather hat, god's garb, blood cloak, and the starlight ring.
All right, so the major thing is that they have the God's Garb and the short sword. So the God's Garb is going to make it so that way they only take 1 damage during the little intro section, but the short sword is going to make it so that way they might want to skip the wargs. Like it's going to take a lot of hits to kill them. So that'll be strange happening.
Right, so we're gonna start the countdown now. 4, 3, 2, go.
Good luck, runners.
Oops.
God bless you.
Thank you, my man.
Chris is having a little bit of an execution day, looks like. Yeah, Chris, it looks like could use to tighten up this section a bit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Aldriel got a nice fight there.
Yeah, he got a very fast fight. Ooh, damage stack on the left, though. Damage stack on Chris's side, so he's at least keeping up. It wasn't like a very slow Richter section, but he should still look at cleaning up that Richter section, you know? Just in general, the movement tech. But yeah, I'm interested to see how these runners deal with the short sword. Just having the short sword in this section is going to be such a pain. There's the warget. Everything takes 1 hit except for these guys.
Oof, it's a 3-hitter right now.
Yeah, so yeah, he's choosing to jump over them, which makes sense.
That's the right move right there. You're only taking 1 HP of damage. It's going to take longer for you to sit there and kill those hogs. So
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, and yeah, Chris is not jump canceling them either. Ooh, 2 mana prisms to start off. One for the neutron bomb and one for the instead of the turkey. It's very silly to start off with the short sword. It's not a very helpful weapon.
No, not at all. I think they'll be glad to get rid of that here. Aldriel opting to not check that middle room.
Yeah, it's a big time loss to check it. I like to check it just because, oh my god, and they got gravity boots right off the bat. So that means that they can do like a lot of checking in the in this area, like a lot of relic checks.
Yeah, they'll be able to check at least 4 on the way before they even get to the clock room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because normally you get 2 on the way to clock room, but there's 2 that are accessible by gravity boots in the alchemy lab here. And also the alchemy lab just gets much faster in general with the gravity boots, although he is not taking that because he wants the aquamarine.
Yeah, that's a good get there this early. They'll have something to sell when they get to library.
Yeah, enough to at least buy the relic.
Yeah.
All right, and then, yep, right there. I think he's having trouble doing the stationary gravity jump. The stationary gravity jump is actually a very precise input. It needs to be 2-8. It needs to be down up. If you have any like impurity in your inputs, it's not going to be good.
Yeah. Second relic was Fairy Scroll. That's pretty useless relic here in Randomizer. So hopefully they get something else next
All
check.
the Fairy Scroll does is put the enemy's name on the screen, so it's not relevant. Oh, Muramasa. That's a I don't know if I like that weapon, actually. I don't think I've ever used it.
It's not terrible. It's a pretty decent sword.
Didn't even one-shot that guy.
Yeah, but I think this early on, yeah, you're probably better off going bare fist here.
Just a quick.
Yeah, I've never used the
Did I
Muramasa
happen
just
to miss the
because I
first
think
relic
it's one of
pickup?
those weapons that you have to farm up in order for it to be good, so...
Yeah, that, and it's two-handed, so even if you had a shield, you're probably not going to want to use it.
That was a very good fight by Aldriel. Same strategy for Chris, and he's doing a good job of it. Oh, but he's got the Muramasa equipped still, so he's not getting a double hit on his attack.
Sure, yeah, they have Fairy Scroll. Aldriel just picked up Gas Cloud, and Chris will also be picking up the Gas Cloud.
And gravity boots.
And gravity boots.
Gravity boots, yeah.
Ooh, Platinum Mail, not bad.
Yeah, it's a bit of toughness. This early in the game, the toughness doesn't matter that much, like your armor, just because none of the enemies are that difficult to begin with.
Yeah. So coming up in Marble Gallery is going to be within this progression, the 4th relic check.
Yeah,
they're going to head down, and you might see them with the gravity boots check the 2 extra items you'll see in the alcove up here. It looks like a girthing sword on Aldriel's side,
yeah,
and then there's going to be another check. Yeah, that is totally worth it.
It's a little tricky to get to, though, because I think you'll have to do the diagonal gravity jump.
Yeah, the angled one to get up there, yeah.
Ooh, Form of Mist. That opens up a relic in library, and also means they don't need to fight Werewolf and Minotaur to get the relic in Arena.
That'll also allow easier grab jump chaining.
Oh, right. You can just chain grab and jump because they have transformation now.
That's right. Yeah, you just hit mist and exit out of mist, and you can chain those grab jumps, and it's going to make getting to locations a little bit easier. Looks like they both went for the curse thing. They saw it. Good. That was a good pickup.
Yeah, good job on both runners. Yeah, that means they can also check default gravity boot spot. They can like check almost everything in the first castle. The only thing they're missing is Jewel of Open. So this means that the routing is now just freeform. They can go wherever they want. But mana is a huge issue. They need to be careful how they use it. Tooth of Vlad at Gravity Boots. The Vlad relics, they need all 5 of them to complete the game because we are doing glitchless rules. So that's the first of 5 that they'll need. Once you have all 5 relics, you just go to where Dracula is and turn him in.
We should also note within these rules that they are also glitchless. They are also required to pick up the Spike Breaker and use that Spike Breaker to get the Silver Ring. They cannot use any potion or mana prism like iframes to pass through the spikes. You have to use that Spike Breaker to get to the Silver Ring. So that's also going to come into play with their routing when they time to do it, all that good stuff.
Yep.
This wall is also that's a pretty decent one. That wall's a good check.
Yeah, it's not necessary though. I feel like that actually just gave Chris back the lead. Like it didn't do much for him. And that's just Force of Echo, I think. Or no, it's Echo of Bat, so it's not strictly necessary. It just makes doing the Dark Room easier.
It's like Aldriel's gonna go maybe open up the left side wall and maybe come back and get it.
I think I always like to open the entrance to Chapel, like the way between Chapel and Arena. Did he forget? Oh, I was about to say.
Oh,
he forget he had
he wanted to grab that item right before the fight. Yeah, and then definitely opens up that wall. That's a good call. And it looks like he took a little fall there. That's okay.
Yeah, he's wasting some time jumping back up. And good on Chris. He's going over to grab the waypoint, or the teleporter room for Olrox's quarters. That's important later on in the game when you're going, because you have to go down to the very basement to get the Spike Breaker, and then you have to go to Chapel. Oh my gosh, she's losing the fight to the Skeleton Master. Poor Aldriel.
These skeletons, man, when they don't jump, they can be a real nuisance.
Oh, but anyways, yeah, so... Oh no. I'm just watching Chris's life right now. He's so low.
Yeah, that's the other thing to getting that portal early is really important, and just getting it in general is very important, but you do have to worry about those 2 knights that can really mess you up on your way there, and you got to worry about them on the way back.
Yeah, they are really brutal, and they react to you. So, like, you can't just jump over them because they'll see you jumping and react to it. So you have to, like, kind of bait out an attack. Or what I prefer to do is just to use a spell to get through them.
Yeah, just like Aldriel's doing right here. That's the safest way to get through them.
Yeah, he messed up, though. You can press down to cancel that.
Oh, okay. Both of
Okay.
them are in very low HP right now. They should be a little careful with their movement.
It's a dangerous spot.
Yeah, if Chris can hit a soul steal at any moment here, would be good. He's got full mana. Give him some health. A little breathing room would be nice. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him do that.
Oh my gosh, he's not gonna be. He doesn't have the mana to do this. What is he trying to do? Oh, he has 2 mana prisms. I forgot that they both have 2 mana prisms.
There we go. All right,
There, yeah.
Chris used the soul steal there. That's a good call.
Yeah, just gain a little bit of health back, have a little bit of breathing room. The next boss is a Duplicator, which if you have a good strategy for him, he can be very easy and predictable. But if you don't have a good strategy for him, he can deal you a lot of damage. So.
Did you say duplicator?
I did say Duplicator, I meant Doppelganger. The whole bean dagger. That dagger is good for like dashing, back dashing, but not. Oh no, and he's out of mana again. Poor Aldriel. He right above him is a save point, but he won't be able to get to it without a lot more mana. I think he's underestimating the amount of mana he'll need.
Yeah, your movement here. Your movement here has to be pretty spot on in order to navigate it with.
And this guy.
Oh
My god, he died.
No.
He died. I haven't seen him make a save. Or no, he definitely made the save in arena. He touched the save point in arena. I remember that.
Okay.
Am I misremembering that?
I want to say he did. But meanwhile, Chris went ahead and took care of Doppelganger, max HP up right after Doppel.
Yeah, he's in Coliseum. Okay, he's not in a bad spot. He did lose time, and like I said, I don't agree with the decision to go to the top of that area. So I'm hoping that he learned from his decision, saying, "Oh, that's way too mana intensive for me right now. Go the other way." But yeah, seeing Jewel of Open in the elevator and outer wall means that literally they can go anywhere. There's no more like question about that. The only thing that they need is Power of Mist or Soul of Bat in order to get into the Spike Breaker. But besides that, they can do anything.
Looks like Chris is opting to check this relic before he heads into library. I'm imagining he's going to backtrack to library after this.
Yeah, library is very it's by default where all of us go because it's where you have to go if you don't have any movement relics. So you have to go into library. So usually you end up going to library right away on a seed, but also, if you can skip library until later, until you find a library card, that means that your run is more efficient. So
yeah, early merman statue there. That's actually pretty good to get. You want to get that preferably earlier than later, so you don't have to I would say detour your route to go check it. So like if you go down to Catacombs and you don't have merman statue, you clear out that area and then you find it later, then you have to worry about, well, what is that relic check gonna have?
Yeah, so for everybody watching at home, the merman statue you need in order to check a relic in Catacombs, in right side up castle. That's the only thing it's used for, is to summon the merman to open a wall. Good use of Tetra Spirit by Aldriel. That'll make this fight much faster.
Yeah, so in library we have Chris checking there. There's 4 total relics, and right now they can check all 4 with Form of Mist and a way to get to Lesser Demon and
Oh,
Soul of Bat.
right at the very beginning of library, making this
Very
a
nice.
very profitable library check.
Absolutely.
Soul of Bat is what enables Wing Smash, which is the fastest way to move around the castle. So right now, Chris is looking like he's the fastest guy. He's the fastest one. Let's see what we have in store. They have a lot of money. Cube of Zoe, not really worth it. Power of Sire, meh. What can we buy here? No great weapons. You can get a shield, sure, if you want.
Dragon Helm.
Dragon Helm is worthwhile. It increases your attack. It is really good for that. And no duplicator, so
Moonstone is pretty good as well. Looks like I think you bought a Moonstone.
yeah, he probably bought a Moonstone and a Ring of Ares just for the strength. Yeah, there's not very much good stuff to buy there. I would have actually bought the Cube of Zoe. I just like it sometimes. There's certain bosses that get easier when you have a sub-weapon.
Yeah, and he opted to go ahead and buy, instead of the Moonstone, he bought 2 Ring of Ares. But he's
Okay.
probably going to wait to equip those until his defense is a little bit better.
Yeah, Ring of Ares lowers your defense by a lot, so it's really risky to equip. Meanwhile, Aldriel finds the Leap Stone at Keep, so he can now he can get into Gravity Boot chaining slightly easier, and it doesn't really change that much besides that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! If he hadn't pressed right there at all, he would have been there. Like, even if he got hit, he would have been fine. But he pressed right, so he fell out a little alcove. And the last relic is Holy Symbol in Library. So Library having Soul of Bat is pretty much just Soul of Bat. Oh, Morn Blade in the Keep. And that's not a spot everybody checks, so he might be the only one to get Morn Blade. Morn Blade is a very powerful weapon. It's about as powerful as Alucard's sword. And whenever you hit with it, it heals you for 8. So Aldriel will probably be switched to that soon and be using that for a long time. Eye of Lad, second piece of Lad relic, so runners are well on their way to completing the game.
So Gadriel is going to make a pit stop to the Secret Keep, which houses 8 items up here.
Yeah, 8 items, 9 including that Buffalo Star he just got.
Yeah, so it's always a good check.
Yep. Nothing so far though. And he honestly doesn't really need an item. Like, no matter what he finds, it's not going to affect his end time very much unless it's a duplicator. Yeah, at this point with the Morn Blade, I would not be looking for any more items. I would just be looking to finish the game. And Aldriel deciding to go with... Oh, that's right. So he did not end up grabbing the waypoint. because after he loaded his save in Arena, he just went straight for the keep. He also does not have Echo of Bat, so he'll be forcing himself to do the Spike Room Blind. The Onyx would be a good pickup for him if we didn't already know that the shop doesn't really have anything in it.
Right, yeah, he hasn't been there yet, so he's unaware of what's in store for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty lackluster shop for the most part.
It's also interesting that Chris is going to the catacombs rather than going to the keep right here. It doesn't really... I think it's actually the right decision because he doesn't need any items. Like, he's got a strong enough weapon and everything. And he doesn't need any relic in particular. You know, he already has a way to chain gravity boots, and he already has the tulip open, so he doesn't really need the relics up there yet.
Yeah, he can actually leave the keep for the very last when he goes to do Rector, so that's a good routing decision. If you have the means of heading to Catacombs and getting Spikebreaker safely, then by all means do that as early as possible and leave the top of the castle for when you go do Rector.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Chris does have... I keep saying it, but he does have the Olrock's Quarters teleporter, and Aldriel does not. Just keep that in mind. It's an important fact.
Yeah, that will come into play big time here soon.
So Chris is gonna have to... Oh, he's in the right spot. Never mind. I thought he... I didn't realize that. This Succubus fight can be a little bit of a pain because he doesn't have double jump. So if once he hits the Succubus a couple of times, she'll float up higher and higher, and he won't be able to reach her once he hits her a few times. So I'm interested to see how he handles that. You can do like Soul Steal, or you can do Tetra Spirit to catch her when she's up that high, but hitting with the sword is very difficult.
I like using Tetra Spirit once she gets out of reach. It's a lot helpful.
Yeah, as you can see, he can barely hit her with a jump, but he actually didn't need to cast a spell. The Grit thing is a strong weapon. And he timed his sword swings really well. It can actually be difficult to get a double hit from that situation. And now we're going to see, I think we're going to see Aldriel starting to make up some time. If you watch his technique with, he's got double jump, which, like you can see there, when you dive kick plus, when you double jump, dive kick plus bat, you have like a sliding motion, which is good for making your movement more smooth throughout the castle. Ooh, I hate that. When Lesser Demon takes to the air and starts summoning, he's invincible while he's summoning, so it's such a pain, but the Mournblade is so powerful that he died in very few hits.
Yeah, Mournblade is it's a sword that could carry you throughout the seed. Like it's that good. If you don't find anything better, and that's the only sword you have, I'd feel pretty comfortable using.
Yeah. So this is an auto-scroller Chris is doing. Like we were talking about the Merman statue you use to open up this barrier that he's in front of right now. You just talk to the Merman at the beginning of this section, and then you wait for him here at this little partition. Again, without the Merman statue, you cannot get this relic, which is Fire of Bat, so it's worthless. Chris is just deciding to, rather than backtrack, just load his save.
Yeah. We call this save splitting. This is allowed in the tournament. You can make a save before you make a long trek to a relic. That would save you time from going there and backtracking. If it's a useless relic, it saves you a lot of time, especially in second castle. If you're still looking for track relics, you want to utilize that to the best. But yeah, this is a totally good move to use.
Absolutely. And Chris is doing a good job chaining his wing smashes together. That's a little bit difficult. You have to input the next wing smash during your current wing smash, so it's just kind of hard to implement.
Okay, so it looks like, yeah, Aldriel did make a Ares and Moonstone purchase, as well as a few other things. Got the Dragon Helm and a few minor things, but those are the big purchases that he made. He had a little bit more money to spend than Chris did, because he was able to collect a few more things. So we'll have to see if that comes into play and helps him out.
Yeah, I think Aldriel's got a bit of a deficit to make up here. He did check keep already, but I feel like the amount of time he lost from his death is going to bite him without like a lot of excellent play. And that's, what is that, the third?
That is the third collected relic piece, Ring of Drac for Chris in the Merman statue location.
So that's 3 Vlad relics in right side up castle so far, and I think there's only 2 relics that we haven't seen so far. The 2 that Chris are about to check, actually. Oh, and actually, there's 4. There's the 2 that he's about to check, 1 in entrance and 1 in underground mine. And then there's another 2 relics in Olrox's quarters that neither of them have checked.
Correct, yeah. So there's 4 altogether.
Yep. 4 altogether, still looking for 2 more pieces of Vlad. It's very it's like very standard for runners to check every relic in normal castle before going to upside down castle. I think it's kind of weird that Aldriel's checking the entrance relic right now, because he could do it as a part of the catacombs check like Chris is doing, but I've seen other runners do it like this, so I'm not sure if it's a wrong choice. And it's just a familiar card, so it's worthless to everybody. Oh, he's save splitting. Okay, that makes sense.
That's what I kind of thought he was gonna do.
Yeah, and Chris doesn't have a save to split off, but it's also not that much of a detour from the route he was going. So I'd say they spent a similar amount of time checking that relic. Yeah, since Aldriel doesn't have he doesn't have the teleporter to Olrox's quarters, this is the fastest way to the catacombs for him. I'm not even sure if it's that fast either. I might have chosen to go from outer wall, but you know. So for anybody who hasn't played Symphony of the Night yet, the skeleton ape, you kind of have to wait for him. You have to wait for him to trudge over there so that way he can throw a barrel onto that wooden platform. You have to do that in every run. Doesn't matter. Well, I guess you don't have to do that in any percent because there's no reason to go to catacombs. But in a lot of like even glitched runs, you'll end up going waiting for that skeleton ape just because there's no way to skip it. Except to just skip catacombs altogether, which is not an option with all relics or all bosses.
Yeah, I think Aldriel is going to make the move here to activate the portal, and he may or may not opt to do Aurochs while he's up here. And yeah, looks like he's going to head on up there.
Yeah, he probably was like, he was probably really upset that he couldn't make it up the first time, so he wanted to make sure he could get it as soon as possible. And he has just enough mana. That was scary. I thought for sure he was going to run out.
Yeah, that was really close.
Now he's got to keep his mana together. Okay, good. Because that's what happened last time. He got that far and then he wasn't able to make it to the save point to get his mana back. So now Chris is going to do Spike Room. He doesn't have to do it blind because I believe he picked up. Yeah, he did pick up the Echo of Bat, but he's still going to do the setup because it's just faster. Oh. It's so yeah, he did Echo of Bat. It's very, it's very simple when you have Echo of Bat to navigate that room. Yeah, that Mournblade made short work of Aurochs. Like we said before, the Mournblade is very much an endgame weapon. You can take it into Dracula and feel good about it. So what do you think is the chance? What do you think are the chances that Chris will check the spot that Mournblade's in?
I think there's a very low chance he'll go there to check that, honestly.
I think it's a pretty good chance. It is just right above the save room. I typically check that spot, so I mean, but not everybody is the same, we all assign different values to how hard it is or easy it is to check a spot.
Yeah.
Yep, and Aldriel, I missed what relics were at Aurochs' quarters. Was there anything important there?
Nah, nothing good there.
All right. So then there's nothing good, and so then there's 3 Vlad relics in Set Up Castle, and I believe they both have 2 of them.
Yeah, there are 3 that we know of in the castle, but they both have 2 because one has been to the keep and one has not been to the keep.
Yeah, and the other one's in the catacombs. And Aldriel has not gone to the catacombs.
Free Ring of Ares right there. That's not bad. And a diamond. Well, that would have been nice earlier, but that Ares could come into play. As I believe Chris did buy 2 of them. That's right.
Yeah,
so that doesn't help him, unfortunate.
Nah, like I said before, like both of them are in a good enough spot to beat the game. Any other items that come up are not really that relevant, unless it's a duplicator. the duplicator, or just like one of the few other better swords, like the Marmill or the I'm sorry, I can't remember. I don't think that's the name of the weapon. The fire sword that hits
The-
3 times, whatever.
Marcel.
Marcel, yeah. If the Marcel or Vorpal Blade shows up, that'll be relevant. But besides that, besides like those very small selection of items, everything's a dead drop. I like
Yeah,
the way Chris navigated that. He used the backdash bat in order to get across those little gaps.
Not bad. So yeah, Chris is going to be able to use this routing that he chose to save Aurochs for this check, because now he can just head straight up to get Silver Ring after checking Aurochs quarters, which is
Yeah. Which, did he open the backtrack?
I know Aldriel did, but he died. I think he went and opened it back up after he died. I can't remember, but I don't remember if Chris.
I don't think Chris did. I think Chris just went in, got the relic, and left.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't even head to the left. He missed it through the gate, got the relic, and then left.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to. I think he'll probably just go back through Olrox's quarters to get to Holy Glasses. And as you can see on Aldriel's side, the difference between the Girthang and the Mournblade just destroyed the Succubus extremely quickly.
Okay, so that was the first relic. To the left of Aurochs was the Spirit Orb, another pretty useless relic. Doesn't really help us at all. And
it
then
shows the damage numbers when you hit somebody.
Yeah, it just shows how much damage you deal to an enemy. And then the other relic that Chris is about to check here, I believe, was Soul of Wolf.
Yeah, neither one of them are relevant to the players because they already have all these awesome movement relics. Normally, Soul of Wolf is kind of relevant just to enable gravity boot chaining, and also there's a couple of jumps in the game that you can make with Soul of Wolf if you just have Soul of Wolf. Also, Soul of Wolf is relevant because if you have Form of Mist Soul of Wolf, you can do what's called a Wolf Rise, where you gain a lot of height for very little mana, but it takes a long time. Whoa, that was close.
Yeah, that was very close. Holy wow. And Aldriel just got a God's Garb draw off of a bat.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That, like I said before, it's not going to make that much of a difference in his overall time, but it probably just makes him feel better.
Absolutely. God's Garb being the best armory that you can get in the game.
Yeah.
To get that off a bat is pretty hilarious.
I'm sure Aldriel's kind of mad that he just did all this for just, what was that? Fire of Bat?
Fire of Bat, yeah.
People don't use Fire of Bat. The only time you use Fire of Bat is when you've leveled up your Bat Familiar to like level 50, and so you have like 4 bats following you around. Got a Bat Squadron, all shooting fire. That would never happen in a race. Oh, right. Chris is going up to Keep because he's never been to Keep.
That's right,
Okay.
yeah.
That makes sense, actually. So that makes way more sense why, not having the arena backtrack isn't slowing him down. Hippogriff goes down super fast, and neither one of them fought Werewolf and Minotaur, so they both have to get this life max up and watch Maria walk away. Step in, then save point, get some mana. Meanwhile, Aldriel is going to find out that they're both going to get the third piece of Vlad, like about at the same time. But I can't help but feel like Chris is just way far ahead.
Yeah.
He already has the 2 rings, so he's about to go to Holy Glasses. He's checked everything here except for the 3 relics that are in keep, but they're all right next to each other.
Yep. So with Aldriel getting the ring and Chris will be getting the eye, that'll put him at 3 apiece, which I believe is all the Vlad pieces we've seen. And I think that's going to be all the one in the first castle. So they're going to be looking for 2 Vlad pieces come inverted.
That's right. Now, inverted castle's an interesting topic. Their accepted good strat is to go to fight Darkwing Bat and then go around the other side, go through like Medusa and Mummy and stuff, and all the way up into the catacombs and finish off with Galamoth, and then go and fight Creature. So Creature is your last relic check. But Creature is actually pretty close to Darkwing Bat, so if the last Vlad relic is at Creature, and your opponent just decides to rush to Creature just on the off chance, then they just gained a lot of time on you.
Yeah, it's a continued heated debate as to what the best route is. I think we had a pretty long discussion about it last night after we saw some routing decisions in the race last night. But I mean, to each their own. If whatever you feel comfortable with doing when you get to inverted, you do what you think is best. But I mean, there's just so many different paths you can take and options once you get to inverted. Whether you're looking for 1 piece, you're looking for 2 pieces. Whether it varies by runner, and that's another just very interesting aspect of Randomizer as to what paths people take.
Absolutely. Chris resting up a few wing smashes while Aldriel goes out of his way to get the Ring of Ares. Either way, Chris is going to get to the inverted castle while Aldriel's still cleaning up the quest to get to it. They are still pretty neck and neck though. And interesting thing about the Aldriel, where are you going? Oh, there's 2 item checks in here.
Yeah.
He's one of the 2 item checks.
Like,
he's very confused. He's not doing all bosses, is he?
See a little small detour, that's all.
Yeah, he just wanted the 2 item checks in there. He wanted that bat printing. So he's doing this the blind method. Oh, I think he's doing. It's fine. Okay. He's doing this the blind method. 1 intentional hit there, and he's
Beautiful.
out. Okay.
That was perfect. That's something I need to learn myself. The blind room there. That's really good to know.
Yeah. Also, I think Luminous, which both runners have, is better than the Gur thing. So maybe Chris should switch to that. I wonder if he's looked at it. Also, Chris falling down the left side of this thing. What? I've never seen anybody do that. Who messes with the left side of this room? What? I forgot there was a left side.
He wants that map completion, man.
Yeah, the walk armor. That's right. He has. No, he doesn't have. What an amazing play! No.
So with all the relic checks done for Chris with holy glasses in hand, he's ready to go to Richter. He's heading there at 46 minutes. That's a pretty solid pace right now for full clearing the first castle. So
yeah,
Aldriel's got a little catching up to do, but he has gotten the spike breaker. He can make his way straight to Silver Ring and then holy glasses, and hopefully he can try to make up some time here.
I also want to note, Aldriel did a lot of extra item checks. If just one of them was either a library card or a duplicator, this would be a much closer race.
That's also true. Yeah, that the library card would have been a huge get for him just to shave off some time here.
Yeah, because if you use a library card at Spike Breaker, it's faster than backtracking to this teleporter. Also, I just remembered Aldriel does not have the Orrox teleporter, and his only he opened the arena backtrack, so it's not that big of a deal. He's actually in an okay spot. It just means that he needs to get there from here rather than Orrox's quarters. Chris making a big boy save before the Richter fight. It's a run under if you mess it up.
Yeah, I mean that's always a good call to make that save there. You never know what's gonna happen in this fight.
Yeah. Although there is a very easy spell solution to this fight.
Yeah. A lot of people like to use Soul Steel, Tetra Spirit, and there's different ways you can do this fight, but normally I think those are the safer ways, or to use the spells to your advantage.
Yeah,
here, Chris used the gas cloud, which isn't a terrible idea either.
Yeah, I actually, like, if I have Power of Mist, if I have the 3 Mist relics, I will just sit on top of the orb with gas cloud. It's just so simple, you know?
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about taking hits from Richter, because he can destroy you pretty fast.
But I expect from Aldriel to see the Summon Spirit plus Soul Steel combo, because that is actually the fastest way to kill Richter. It just does, because or to kill the Shaft Orb. The Shaft Orb has a certain number of hits, and once those certain number of hits are up, no matter how much damage was taken, it dies. So you could have the strongest weapon in the game and still, take a while to kill it.
So we're gonna get our first relic check of the inverted castle here in Darkwing. Again, they are looking for 2 Vlad pieces.
Yep, 2 Vlad pieces.
Yeah, depending on what we're gonna get here, we may see a little bit of a route change, but
yeah, I think both these runners will just go straight to Medusa after this and do the chapel to Deathwing Lair route.
So Chris hit Holy Glasses at about 45. Aldriel's hitting Holy Glasses at about, we'll go ahead and say 50. So there's about a 5-minute difference here.
That's a pretty big difference.
Unfortunately for Aldriel it is, but I think if he feels like he's behind a little bit, or if he gets lucky and Chris somehow takes a death, that'll give him a little bit of a push, but we may see a little bit of a gamble from Aldriel in his routing. It really depends, but we'll see.
I also just want to say, I don't know if I said it before, but I just want to say Inverted Castle is just a very dangerous place. If you drop a lot of wing smashes in a row, or just like one very important one, there's a chance for you to die. And if you run out of mana in the wrong spot, there's a chance for you to die. So just keep an eye on Chris for now and Aldriel once he gets there, because the chance of death is there. Oh, 4th Vlad relic.
There's number 4.
So Medusa is definitely the right choice. Oh yeah, and he's waiting for
Aldriel. Aldriel unfortunately has to wait for the clock room here. That is just, it feels like years are going by waiting for that thing to open.
Yeah, For everybody who doesn't know, that clock tower, the clock opens and closes every minute. It opens it like it toggles every minute, and if you time spent in menus and like freeze frames and stuff do not count towards that minute. So like if you screen transition, you're essentially wasting time. But yeah, you at most you'll lose a minute to Olrox's quarters waiting for it, but it's just such a direct path to a teleporter that it's worth it in his position. And Chris, noticing he's very low on mana, decides to go in this way. And this is the boss I like You've Zoe for, and he has the sub weapon I like against this boss. So I hope he uses it, because this sub weapon destroys this boss.
Oof, this is gonna be an interesting fight.
Just please use the sub weapon.
Oh no, the toss!
Oh, he did. He's not going to use the sub weapon. It's so good against him too. It destroys this boss.
Not to mention he is being poisoned, which does lower his attack considerably. So he's doing less
defense too.
Yeah, so he's doing less attack than he really wants to, right?
And you can Aldriel executing the 2 spells I mentioned very well, and Shaft Orb go down. All right, I'm really going to have to yell at Chris here. You have the salts. You just need to throw them.
No, not a second toss. No. There we go.
Okay. Jeez.
Gets him on a crit.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm roasting you, dude. That was... oh, man. Akbodon. All you had to do was throw the salt.
And Force of Echo. Useless relic. Pretty much any relic at this point that they get is going to be unhelpful to them. That's not a Vlad piece.
Yeah, they have all the movement relics already, so there's nothing left for them. Also, keep in mind, Chris, they both have 2 mana prisms still, which can help a lot in certain areas in Reverse Castle. Like, actually, this section coming up, I predict Chris to use a relic mana prism for, because there's just a long time, a lot of vertical movement in this room in particular, and also like the next room over is kind of dangerous, so he's going to want to wing smash through this whole room. Yeah, so he's going to have to use a mana prism soon. Like, there's so many dangerous rooms between here and the next save point. All right, and Chris going up into Black Marble Gallery. Now, these guys right here are the strongest enemies in the game. You absolutely do not want to get touched by their sword. The Nova skeletons and the spikes at the bottom of each of these areas are also very damaging. So you absolutely do not want to get touched with either of them, especially if you're wearing Ring of Ares or a duplicator. He sails right by all that stuff. It looks like he's good, but he is out of mana. There is a save point right in the next room, though, so he will, I'm sure, fill up on mana there. Meanwhile, Aldriel is in a dangerous room of his own. Those snipers can be very deadly, and the imps that start to spawn when you get here can basically immobilize you. So good thing he got out of there very quickly. It's much more risky if you end up going to reverse Coliseum rather than Blackwing Lair. This Blackwing Lair route is kind of safe in that room. Now I'll be interested to see. I would use a Mana Prism if I were Aldriel. Like I said, spells are really good against Aquodon. Weapons, not so much. But he has the Mournblade, so he might just deal enough damage to not care.
Yeah.
Nope, poisoned. Now he is going to take a while on this fight.
Wow, really nice wing smash there through Force of Echo room for Chris.
Yeah. Oh, I missed it. And there was just a power of mist there. I'm surprised he's not save. I'm surprised he's not loading his save right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't catch to see if he made the save there before heading in. But that only leaves 3 relic checks left here in inverted for the final piece. Creature, Death, and Gallop.
That's it. 3 boss fights. Death is a kind of a pushover of a boss fight. With just the Girthing, he'll probably have to do some actual fighting him. You know, it won't just be like a quick kill. But he also has Rings of Ares, so the damage might be enough to like really demolish him before. Because once Death starts summoning scythes and really doing attacks, it can be like a pain to maneuver around while still dealing him damage. Aldriel's looking like he's having a little bit of trouble getting his getting his gravity boots consistently. Yeah, 50 damage is a light hit on Death here. It's going to take him a while. It's going to be a difficult fight.
Especially for that second phase. Second phase has roughly almost double the HP of the first phase, so he's going to be...
went by pretty quickly now.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible, no.
And he's only taking 1 from all... Oh, 35, never mind. But it's still not like an astronomical amount of damage.
Yeah, contact damage 1, attack damage about 30-ish, so a little rough.
Should be very close to dead. Right
there he goes.
So Aldriel going through this little bit of a difficult section here. He took damage from
man.
Fight, but... Oh yeah, Death dropped the card. Not very worthwhile. Ooh, very tight movement from Aldriel right there. Changing form right as the opening for Catacombs came up. I wonder if Chris forgot there's not a relic there.
Ooh, that's a good point. Turbo brings up in chat. I do believe one of them picked up the barrel. I could be confusing myself with a different seed altogether, but I thought I remember one of them picking up the barrel circle.
What is the barrel circlet? Makes you absorb lightning, if that's right?
Correct. Yeah.
It's useful for the Galamoth fight, just because Galamoth has so many like lightning attacks. But at the same time, Galamoth is also kind of easy to bug into a hit stun loops. And not only that, but when you hit his head as a part of the hit stun loop, I believe hitting his head deals more damage than hitting the rest of his body. So
Yeah, you can get set up for Galamoth to stun lock him, and you just gotta perform that action in a certain way. But yeah, he can be stun locked, and with the right equipment, relatively a pretty easy fight. We'll see how easy it comes for these guys with the equipment that they have, though. And Aldriel he's gonna save split here. Okay.
yeah, trying to gain back a little bit of time.
Which will gain him a little bit of a time back, but I mean it's looking rough right now. It's gonna come down to execution at this.
Well, also, neither one of them has like a great weapon for locking down. Like neither one of them has 100% success rate weapon for locking down Galamoth. They'll have to time their swings well. So
Right.
it's going to come down to skill on the Galamoth fight for sure. And the Dracula fight's not going to be free either.
All right, so Chris is gonna make a quick equipment check here, which is very good. Oh, we got the Yasasuna. That's really good for this fight here.
Yeah, because doesn't it attack as fast as you press the button?
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like the Vorpal and Chris, but with like a little bit more of a wonky hitbox.
Yeah, this weapon is great for stun locking Galamoth.
Yeah, this is a good pickup for him, man. Wow.
Yeah, with 2 Rings of Ares, this guy's going down quick. Great job by Chris here.
Yeah, that is without a doubt the best pick up he probably could have gotten here. Minus, Vorpal or Chrysogrim or whatever. But yeah, this is pretty good.
But the real question is, what relic is hiding at Galamoth? Is the last Vlad relic here, or is it that creature? Are they both wrong? Should they have just gone to creature?
Oh no!
Whoa, creature. Alright, it looks like this is a full clear seed, guys.
I guess Chris is probably gonna want to keep this weapon, so he may not reload a save here.
Well, yeah, Chris, I don't expect him to load, no. They might want to reload their life decisions, but a save, no. I don't think a save is going to help.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only thing that Aldriel would help him here is if he saves. Like, he might save split after Galamoth. It really depends. That would be his saving grace right now.
Yeah, there's not even really... The only dangerous rooms that Chris is really going to have to deal with is there's a blue Venus Weed on his way to Creature, and in Catacombs, and then while he's going from Creature to Dracula, there's the Guardian and stuff, but as long as he executes his Wing Smashes, I think Chris is very comfortable with his lead.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can see why he wouldn't perform a save split here, is he wants to keep the sword that he found. That's the only thing I can think of.
I think Yasatsuna lowers your defense too, so I personally would not have it equipped right now. Aldriel is executing the Galamoth fight well. You want to wait for his head to fully reel before doing another attack.
Oh, he. Oh no.
Oh. He does have the barrel circuit, so.
Okay, so he was the one. Okay. Well, that and he has Mornblade. If he sets himself up, he's fine. But you never want to see
Yeah.
that, regardless.
He's probably not going to die. It's just much more of a pain in the neck. And like I said, you deal more. Oh, and those don't deal lightning damage. You deal more damage. Oh, and he's doing attack again. You deal more damage when you hit him in the head too. So he's losing a lot of time here because of all this stuff. Also, just the fact that he doesn't have the Yasatsuna in the first place. Which deals... It doesn't deal more damage per hit than the Mornblade, but it deals more damage because you can just spam the button.
Also, yeah, Chris unfortunately did not get that Olrox. I could have sworn I thought I saw him get the Olrox portal and inverted, but he did not. So he's going to have to backtrack to Creature here. Go a long way.
Yeah, and he looks like he's going the really long way. If he had just gone, like, one more room to the left before falling down, he would have had a much clearer shot. Yeah, he's going the very long way. Oh, and he doesn't have Olrox teleporter. That actually makes it a little bit more exciting because he's gonna have to go. He can't just go to the teleporter by creature either. He has to hoof it all the way back to Dracula.
Meanwhile, this Galamoth fight is still going on, unfortunately, for Aldriel. I gotta imagine he's really close to getting him here. He was stun locking him for a good minute.
Yeah, but without damage numbers, it's really like you could be dealing 1 damage this whole time and not know. Galamoth has a really incredible high defense.
Oh, he's taking a couple kicks from Galamoth here.
Why? Chris is just checking items still. It's just very strange to me.
Don't know if he used that other mana prism. That's the only thing I can think of he's looking for. He's sitting at 0. Oh, he might be switching to it right now. Yep, he's got 1 mana prism left near the top of his menu. Or...
He just wants a shield and a sword.
Shield dash, yeah. Galamoth, please.
Yeah, this Galamoth.
There we go.
Yeah. The Yasatsuna plus double Ring of Ares seems like the fastest way to kill him in this seed, so great on Chris for finding those items and using them properly. All that for that. And Aldriel with the reset.
That's gonna hurt.
So I think Chris is doing this right now, just going this way just to get the MP before he fights creature. So that way make the backtrack less painful. And I can't imagine that this guy is going to stay alive for any amount of time.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Aldriel, he needs a Chris death right now. That's the only thing that's going to
Alright, 5 seconds.
really help him out.
Go. And there goes creature. Down. Oh god, things are melting on Chris's screen, and there's the Heart of Lad, just like we thought. So Aldriel is actually really close to Chris. If Chris's movement isn't crispy enough in this next section, then I could definitely see Aldriel catching up.
Yeah, they're gonna do a high five right here.
Yeah, right? Also, Aldriel has less has the Morn Blade rather than the Yasatsuna, so it's going to take him. Oh, but he has the Fury Plate, which ups your strength. So it's going to take him a little bit longer than the other person to kill enemies for both Dracula and the creature. Yeah, he didn't equip the ring there. Yeah, but it's still really fast for the Morn Blade.
Yeah, Aldriel was able to catch up a little bit, being able to save split there, but yeah, again, he needs a little bit of help from Chris, unfortunately.
Ooh, we got the Bat Bug, everybody! Bat Bug in tournament. Woo!
Chris almost got Nova'd, and that would have been it right there, man. That was really, really close.
Yeah, he also probably still has both Rings of Ares equipped and the Yasatsuna, which lowers their defense as well. So, oh, he's got no mana. He's Mana Prism here, man. Mana Prism here. No. Oh my God.
Aldriel is quickly closing the gap. Oh my goodness!
Okay,
Run!
Whew. I was like, dude, come on. You're going into this room with 0 mana? This is absolutely the room you don't want 0 mana for.
I cannot believe how quickly Aldriel's closed this gap.
Oh my God, he's getting juggled. But he's got a full mana bar right here, so he's
both
right
at
here.
The clock room. That's insane.
Is he taking the save, or is he just stopping by for? He's taking the save. Okay, if Aldriel doesn't take the save, then they're pretty much even. But Chris has better damage.
Yeah, I can't imagine him at least getting it for his health and mana to go up, but if he takes the full save here, yeah.
I think Aldriel's not going to touch the save point at all.
Yep, you're right. He's going in.
Yeah, he's got to, and he probably doesn't know that, but he's much better off doing it this way.
Yeah, we got a race.
It all depends on how Chris's fight goes here. If he's good at spamming circle and square, I think he's got it in the bag.
I think he put the cursor right on him.
You put the what?
He put the mouse cursor. Oh, he moved it again. Okay.
Oh, he's getting juggled by freaking Shaft now. Poor Aldriel. Oh, but Chris gave up some damage by not meeting Dracula at the top of the screen. And probably going to see time very soon from him, though. Time. Yeah. Whew.
What a finish.
1:15 is a very fast time for a full clear seed.
Yeah. Really good finish.
Tell me, what were these his last words?
Second phase, Drac here. He's going to have a little bit of a different boss pattern that Aldriel has to be wary of. But it looks like really non-trivial.
Yeah, it looks like he's got the fight handled, and he's with the damage that he's dealing. It's probably Dracula's probably dead soon.
Yeah, and there we go.
Yep, time. Yeah, very fast seeds for both players. big difference for both runners was the fact that Chris had Yasatsuna for the Galamoth fight.
Profit is it to a man if he
That
gains the
was really
world
the
and
difference
loses
maker.
his own soul? Matthew 16:26.
Oh, what an interesting match for sure. It was
Yeah.
a pretty big gap close
Tell me,
with Aldriel doing
what-
that save split to
what
catch
were
back up with
Legi's
Yeah,
Chris.
last
really big gap close.
said,
Like
"Do
he
not
he
hate
was
me. If you
he
cannot
was
live
it
with them,
felt
then at
miles
least do them
away,
no
and he
harm,
was able to
for
close that
theirs
gap
is
very.
already a hard lot. She
Part of
also
that,
said
I
to
think,
tell
was
you that she
Aldriel
would
just
love you for
managing
all of
his
eternity.
mana better too.
Lisa,
I felt like
forgive
Chris,
me.
there were a few spots where he
Farewell,
could
my
have used his
son.
mana prism, or he could have used one less wing smash in one spot and one more wing smash in another spot to save some time.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna get those racers in with us to, you guys can ask them some questions. We can talk a bit more about their match, how they thought things went, and get all the
All right,
good
sounds
juicy
good.
details. Get those guys over here.
Sounds good. So they're just talking in the group chat right now. Hey guys, how you doing? Hey guys, great run to both of you guys. That was well played
Like to
by
see-
both of you.
GG to both of you. What a fantastic race.
Oh my goodness. I thought it was game over once I actually fought Galamoth and saw that card. I was like, you have to be kidding me. And I didn't get any teleporters, nothing.
Yeah,
So now, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead. You finish your sentence.
I was gonna say, so now I learned my lesson. No matter what, get that clock tower, portal, and Orlocks, regardless.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It sometimes can be an easy thing to forget because you're in such a rush to get to the next relic checks, but it is really important portal check.
So I just wanted to ask a couple questions. So Chris, when you saw that Soul of Bat was at library, where were you planning on routing right away? Like, why did you decide to go to catacombs at that point rather than the keep?
So my thing was when I saw that I had, because I believe at that point I had Jewel open.
Yes, you did.
So I know for sure to kind of go all the way around. It was weird because I knew I checked already Alchemy Labs relics. So I was like, all right, if I route myself going through, the water, right, the lower part of the castle, I was like, I can go ahead, hit all the relic points on the way, even the one in the beginning, to see if there's something there, and not have to worry about, saving up near the alchemy lab and kind of splitting both ways.
Yeah.
So, and I think at that point, I knew once I get Spike Breaker, everything else, like I would go to Orlocks from there, go to Tower, get the silver ring that I needed, and then just kind of work my way as I was going. Because normally 9 times out of 10, I'll just get stuck. Like on the fly, I kind of figure, all right, you know what? Should I go here? Should I go there? I kind of just, as soon as I got the jewel open, I kind of just figured from there, all right, I'm going to work my way from the bottom all the way to the top, and then get the holy goggles, and then go back to, Richter and fight him. And from there, I was going to try to go.
Yeah, it seemed like a good route too, because then you didn't go to keep at all until you were ready to fight Richter.
Yeah. Well, I had to, because I had to check to see. Well, I think I went there right before I got the goggles, but I knew obviously if I could check those relics, I'm good. I could just use the teleporter to get where I needed to Orlocks because it was right there, like that next one, and then get goggles, go back up, and then fight.
Yeah. I have a question for Aldriel now. So I saw you went up to Olrox's quarters. You went to try to get to the save point right outside Olrox and died. What were you thinking about
Yeah,
your position right there?
that was an intentional death because I realized that there's no like I can't get out of there alive, and didn't have any mana because I used my both mana prisms on accident. So I decided to die so I could keep one of the mana prisms, which I never ended up using the other one, but that was an intentional death. If I could have gotten to the save point, I could have gone and fought all rocks and get the relics and then go castle keep.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious because it looked like a weird death. It looked like you were kind of fighting them, but not really.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, I decided like there's no way like that it's not feasible to keep on going. So then I had the save point at Colosseum. I went through Colosseum to Castle Keep.
yeah.
Was it just faster to die than just soft reset, or it
Uh,
didn't matter either way?
It didn't matter either way. I think that doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, I think it's about the same amount of time. So Chris, I saw you got the Yasatsuna right before the Galamoth fight, right? That made such a huge difference in that fight. Like,
I would say that made a huge difference for the rest of the seed too, because it allowed him to have a quicker drag fight as well.
That was
Yeah.
my thing. The whole time I was on my way to Galamoth, I'm like, how the heck am I going to kill him? Like, I have nothing other than the weapon that I had before. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Sure thing.
And then as soon as I just kind of went up and I saw it, I was like, all right, let me get it. And saw it was the Yatsuna. I was just kind of freaking out inside, like, no way. As soon as I got it, I was like, all right, let me try the strat to try to wing up to that second area and then just go to town. And that I got lucky enough to where I was able to finally wing smash when I wanted to.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think my Galamoth fight took like 5 minutes.
Yeah. That was unfortunately what really extended what could have been the done time for you. Because if you were able to kill him as quickly as Chris was, it would have been a different outcome altogether.
Yeah, because you guys, Chris was actually ahead by, I want to say 30 seconds to a minute going into the Galamoth fight. And I was really surprised to see Aldriel, like, he made up so much time between Galamoth and Dracula that when Chris was going into Dracula, Aldriel was Aldriel was going into Dracula too. Like, you were going in with Aldriel like 10 seconds behind.
Yeah. Chris was like going up to Dracula. Aldriel was hitting those clock dongs. So you closed the gap considerably from Galamoth to Creature to Dracula, which everybody was just like, wow, this this is actually a very close finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I lost. Like as soon as I figured I was on the way to Creature, I was like, I'm done. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to make
I
it
was
all
like-
the way over there and back.
Like after Galamoth, I was like, either Chris dies to Galamoth or he has a weapon that can kill Galamoth faster than me. And well, the second one was true.
A good run all around,
Because,
guys.
I mean,
Yeah, good round, guys.
I realized when the stun lock broke off, I remembered that I picked up a barrel circlet. I think it was a drop somewhere. I was like, well, this is gonna save me from this fight. Like, I can do this fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything that
didn't
you
have-
guys want to say in regards to how the race went for yourselves?
I mean,
I found it fun. Very nervous at first, hands clammy. You know, it's weird because, you know, I've done one other race and tournament, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, I've done this before. I know the route, I know the castle or whatever. It's like there's no need to get nervous. And yet, right when I was starting, like my chest was just about to like explode.
Well, you definitely made me nervous. I Definitely had my cards in on Aldriel coming up ahead, but turns up we have two back-to-back upsets on the bracket so far. So
I think Tube Powered is the only one that predicted this.
I think so. I will have to take a look at those predictions at some point again, but damn, what a first few matches that we've already gone through.
I mean, that was a fun seed. It required actually some to get it as fast as I could with a Mornblade and one Ring of Ares. To get that as fast required a lot of movement tech on my part.
I ended up getting 3 Rings of Ares. I brought 2 from the library thinking, all right, I'm good. I'll kind of change it. And then I picked up another one. I think it was the Catacombs on the way back up or down. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I got 3. The library didn't have anything to me. The Dragon Helmet did, but I felt like everything else was just not really what I
Yeah, the library was kind of a dead hit, which was kind of funny because you guys got so many good gems, and then you went to the library and there was nothing there.
Yeah, I had a ton of money after going through Castle Keep and going into the library. I was like, I can buy anything, and then I look at the shop and like, okay,
There's
well, I
nothing
guess I'll
here.
buy I guess I'll buy the Dragon Helm and the Ring of Ares.
Oh, one more thing I wanted to mention, Chris. You had the Holy Salts during the Aquodon fight, and you didn't use them. I'm so mad at you.
Hold on, what?
You had a sub-weapon of
Yeah.
salts.
Yeah.
It destroys Aquodon.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
And
Are you
you
talking about
just said-
2 or 1?
The
Or
mummy.
just the mummy, right?
Yeah, the mummy.
Dude, I
He
hate
destroys Aquodon, and you got juggled, comboed by him over and over again. You had the sub-weapon.
I did not know about that.
Well, now you know.
Now
Everybody in the chat, try your sub-weapon on Aquodon. Almost
Yeah.
everything is better than a normal weapon.
I gotta do that. All right, guys, I gotta leave because I gotta put my kids to bed. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no
Thanks for
problem.
GG,
the
man.
answers. That was great.
That was great. And Aldriel, like, we have to continue to do this again, like, even if it's off stream, because this is definitely fun.
Yeah. Well,
Thank
hopefully
you.
down the road we'll run some smaller mini rapid fire ones down the road, but
Yeah.
we'll plan that out after this big one's done. But very much appreciate you guys doing a really awesome race. Commentary was great. Thank you very much. Commentary, you guys.
The VOD.
All right, guys,
Absolutely.
have a good one.
These old and Stu providing very colorful commentary. But yeah, we're gonna wrap this stuff up. We have another match coming up later, probably a few hours from now or so.
Yeah, a little over 2 hours between our very own SSB Stew and Satellite.
Yeah. So don't get too busy or occupied. We'll be back. In a little while. So go get your break. Go whatever you need to get done, and we'll have another match lined up shortly after that. But
Sounds good.
yeah. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you again with more Symphony of Night Randomizer tournament, best of 1, glitchless Spike Breaker.
All right,
Have a
see you
great
guys later.
time.
See ya.
Alright, folks, appreciate you guys enjoying and tuning in to the race. That was definitely something to watch. What a big upset in the last few matches that we witnessed. We had Green versus Manly in the first match the other day, and then Manly took a nice win as the underdog, and then today we got to witness Aldriel versus Chris Naga, and Chris pulled off a win. I mean, all my cards were on Aldriel taking the win there, but I think he had a nice gap closer towards the end, so that was really something to see as well. So very, very close race yet again. Literally but a minute apart, if anything. So Yeah, that wraps it up for now. We'll be back later on tonight, a few hours or so from now, and we'll have another race with Stu versus Satellites. So stay tuned for that, and make sure that if you can, please do retweet out, the matches and all that stuff. It's greatly appreciated, and you can check out all the tournament info and all that jazz and the rules at the link here that I'm going to add here. And check that stuff out. And if you have any comments, feedback, or suggestions, feel free to send them my way on my socials, or get a hold of me somehow. Plenty of ways to do that. We'll take them into consideration and continue improving things as we go. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a great rest of your night, and we will see you again.